Hey everybody, welcome. Your saltwater guide, Capt. Dave Hansen. I got the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. John. What? Yeah, Mr. John Bretza joining us today, and we are at the ICAST show. John, if you remember, was on the show live with us last Wednesday. Pretty spectacular. We were talking about some of the new products that Okuma was coming out with. We didn't even mention the fly reel, and lo and behold, I didn't even know about it. And look at this. Talk about what just happened with the fly reel last night.
Went to the awards banquet last night and we're surprised. Won best of show for the fly reel category. Pretty amazing. That's our new integrity fly reel. Really sharp looking. Comes in several sizes from a 3-4 weight all the way up to an 8-9. Die cast aluminum, extremely ported out. You got it in your hands. You can feel how lightweight that thing is.
It's incredible. This is absolute. Look at this. It doesn't even feel like I'm holding anything, gang. If you're into fly fishing at all, you know what it's like when you're hiking in the Sierras and you're fly fishing, and you want everything to be as light as it possibly can be. This thing does all that. Plus, like John said, look at how sexy it is. It just looks good, and it feels good in your hand. That's kind of how you're going to have it on the rod when you're fishing with it. But talk about what you did, because I know you're the head designer for all this cool stuff that Okuma, right?
Yeah, so I mean, first off, it's a large arbor design, which a lot of the trout anglers want right now. Being a fly reel, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. You don't have a gear ratio in there. So the large arbor design is going to allow you to get more line pickup, especially if you're just starting out in fly fishing. You don't understand that. That expanded arbor on the inside of the spool is going to give that line pickup. You'll see all the nice inside parts that are blue. That's all machined aluminum inside there. And you got a carbon fiber drag system. So you hook a trout on light line, it's going to run. You want it to be nice and smooth and not bumpy. And then the other thing, which I know, Dave, you know very well because we've seen it in the show earlier, is that you can identify left and right-handed reels.
Oh my
very
gosh,
easily, right?
so well. I'm so good at it. And the names of the reels too. I'm hot on the names.
And folks, as you know, we always have a backstory with Dave. We'll talk about later. But, as you're cranking, you can change this from left to right-hand retrieve. You basically unscrew this, and there's a one-way roller bearing in the center that you just flip the direction, and it'll change it from either left to right or right to left-hand retrieve based on your style of fishing.
Do you think that was one of the reasons why it won new product of the year?
No? Most reels have that, but
okay, I don't know.
I mean,
what was the
one of the reels? We made a super sexy cosmetic. It's all ported out, and this reel starts at $89.99. Does that look like a $90 reel?
No, not even. That looks like a $300 or $400 reel, or maybe $1,000 reel. How wild is that? $90? That's incredible.
And it's a great reel because it just won the award, right?
The proof's in the pudding, gang. It just won the new product award at the ICAST show. By the way, we are at the ICAST show, and we're having the time of our lives here. It's so much fun meeting all the cool people, hanging out with all the real influencers, not just hanging out with silly Cap Dave.
Well,
getting to meet the real influencers of the industry, the guys with 10 or 12 followers.
Yeah, we see you in the booth all the time. But one of the guys that's been on your show, or a couple of guys, we got Coastal Worldwide, actually working the Okuma booth. Those guys are so cool. We talk about my son though, Xander. He's been here at the show, and he's meeting all these guys he sees on YouTube and social media all the time. So it's just a cool experience seeing all this while we're here.
ICAST is an amazing experience. It's sad that it's not open to the public, but then again, I think that's why all the who's who come out here, because they're not going to get mobbed. It's kind of cool. They're hanging out, seeing all your idols and seeing all the people you grew up watching. And then to see the new products, like you got the Coastal Worldwide guys in the booth, and they're showing off that McCarty series of shark fishing land-based reels that you and them designed together. That's the cool thing about Okuma, gang. If you guys have a reel or something that you want to see made, maybe like the Mahi series reel. So many people were talking about that, and the Coastal Worldwide guys were with me for a few minutes yesterday, and we showed that Mahi reel also with the land-based shark reels. There's just so much cool stuff that you do, being the president of product development and then talking to the people. That's incredible that you listen. A lot of these companies, they already have their minds made up. They're not doing anything cool.
So I don't know if Dylan mentioned from Coastal Worldwide when you're talking about the land-based shark stuff, do they give you a little insight as to what they're testing?
No, they didn't tell me the new thing.
So we're working on land-based shark rods complementing the Kyra reels, and they have been. You wouldn't know by watching the videos because you can't tell what the product is, but they've been using them for months, the prototypes, and we've dialed everything in. We're just about ready to sign off on it. We didn't have it launch here, but those rods will most likely be ready for the market right at the start of the year.
Oh, how cool. So we'll be able to see them at the PCS show in Orange County.
That's true.
Nice. And gang, if you have any questions for John or myself while we're going, and then our other guests that are going to join us, you can send in your questions like you normally do. We'll see them on the side. We got Brian producing the show today. Elliot's super busy taking care of some of his other clients. I know it's hard to believe he's not always taking care of me, but he has a bunch of other clients. So he's busy with that. But Brian's right here in the same room with us. So if you got a cool question for me or John or any of our other guests today, feel free to jump in there. Now, John, this is the reel you and I were talking about. The Tesoro series reel, that's my favorite line that you guys have ever made. And that Tesoro series reel, this is the jigging reel that I got to use with Brian and I yesterday on the aquarium. I was slow pitching the new Akara series jig and using this reel, and the fish were eating the lure every time. But going in, I forgot a valuable thing that you talked about. And I don't mind embarrassing myself, you know that. So can you talk about it for 1 second? What I did wrong?
Sure. Well, the greatest part was we've told stories about you coming to my office about braided line, right, in the earlier years, this and that. And Dave brought me the right-handed reel into the booth and said, "What is going on? I think I have a left-handed reel.
I can't get the line to go out.
I can't get it to work." So for those of you that were tuned in last Wednesday
and paid attention,
yes, and paid attention, unlike Dave, we talked about this little button on the side, which most anglers would think that's a clicker. That is a spool lock system. So what Dave did was he put that in spool lock down. What we did not talk about, I think, last week was, when you put that down and try to go forward, the spool's going to be locked. So simulating when you're stuck in a reef, you're pulling back, that spool's not going to release line. But if you gain line, you turn that spool, it's going to come in. So Dave was in here clicking this thing backwards, and I had to come and pop the button up and show him that he really had a right-handed reel in his hand.
And really, in all my years of being in the industry, I've never seen a reel that you could lock the spool. And I know John and I talked about it and how cool it was, but I didn't have the reel in my hand, so I really didn't comprehend until 1 second after I handed it to him, and he said, and I went, "Oh my God, you're right. It's not the clicker." Oh my gosh. It was so embarrassing. I'm so glad that none of you were here to see it, but I don't care. I embarrass myself every day. But that was cool, and this is so smooth, and it feels so good in your hand. The way you palm the reel, every part of this was designed for us. So the way that you palm the reel when you're slow pitching, you showed that to me how good it works, and then I went out there and I did it at the aquarium. And to hold the reel like this in any other situation besides slow pitching, I would call you what? A booger eater. But in this situation, this is how it was designed to do. So it's new for me. I know everybody in the industry wants to slow pitch. Slow pitch jigging is the thing. And you guys have the reel. James Marcos was in the booth yesterday. He says this is like the best reel you guys have ever made as far as he's concerned. Fishing those giant Goliath groupers and all the stuff he does, reef fishing. He loves this reel.
They love it. James did all the videos, and we talked last week on the jigging reel about learning new techniques, listening to market. Don't be somebody stuck in their ways. Like you walked in the booth yesterday acting like a booger eater, right?
Yes, I was.
With the right-handed reel.
I was actually chewing on one when I walked in.
And so we quickly taught you when you decided to listen this week, we popped it up, and now but we talked about jigging techniques, and you would become the expert, and you went into the tank over there, and you hooked up right away, right?
Right away. It was absolutely amazing. So that's the Tesoro jigging reel. You got to check this out. Look at that big power handle on there. Now that you're getting to see it up close and personal, that's pretty cool stuff right there, right? That power handle, that's going to be the key to getting those fish out of the reef.
So in our booth, I mean, this has truly been the showstopper. It's been the Tesoro jigging reel. And in the booth, I think yesterday you were in the booth and saw the life-size yellowfin tuna world record. We have rigged up on the Tesoro jigging rod as well, which we used yesterday, so guys could simulate, pulling on that thing. So true showstopper here at ICAST.
And then what do we have right here?
So this reel, we mentioned it last week, but I didn't have the sample show it because we shipped them all over here to Florida. So I think most of the viewers have seen or are familiar with the Cavala lever drag 2-speeder reels. So we are doing, just like we've done on the McCarty in the past, we're doing a limited edition run of the Cavala in what we call Midnight Blue. So it's a midnight blue and gunsmoke anodizing, so really sharp looking reel. But then on top of that, we upgraded the handle. It's got the carbon fiber ball knob. I don't know if Todd Mansers told you, but I gave Todd some reels with that handle knob about a year ago. Came back and said it was the most comfortable knob he's ever fished on a reel. He loved this style. I've heard that by multiple people here at the show as well.
Yeah, he didn't give me any, so I can't.
You don't always fish anymore.
No,
but
I
you
just
know
make
all the
videos.
background.
But yeah, but look at that. The way that foot fits in your palm is pretty spectacular. It does feel really good in there, and I know Todd has a lot of history with knobs, so there you go. It's pretty cool stuff right there. So that's the Cavala gang, and a bunch of you guys have bought the Cavalas because of this show. This is kind of a different type of Cavala. This is a special edition. Look at that color. Look at the color of that thing. It's going to be just spectacular to have some of these in your hands. And you can find these over at the Okuma website. I'm going to throw the QR code up here on the screen. Okuma Fishing USA, right, John?
That's correct.
Look at that. I even remembered that. There it is. The only reason I remembered is because I was reading it right there.
And the great thing about this reel too, you're not always going to catch fish, right? Unless you tune into your website.
Unless you're part of Your Saltwater Guide.
But if you don't catch fish,
that's
that knob and the color, you're gonna
at least you're gonna look good,
pretty cool.
Not catching fish. But yeah, the only reason you don't catch fish is because you chose to suck. You don't have to suck if you don't want to, because you could be a member of my website. You'll never have to suck again. What are you doing? Hitting her with the chair? Dude, she's doing nice. She's being really nice right now. You don't need to hit her. Okay. What do we got with these spinning reels? You know me, I don't even know how to hold them. So let's talk about it.
All right. Here you go, Dave.
All right, so check this out. Gavin Newsom was showing me this is the way. Okay? Because he is way into fishing. I saw his poster. He said no, you got to hold it like that, right?
Yeah. So what we have here, Dave, this is a new Sapphire. And honestly, I think this is probably the best looking reel we have in the booth for a spinning reel. Super sexy. It's got that really dark gunmetal blue anodizing color. Attached with a gunsmoke anodizing there on the spool. This features our Hydroblock 2 water seal system, so it works basically like a splash guard, but it's a 7-bearing reel. Features our HDG Plus gearing. So what that means is that we have a larger diameter gear. So a larger diameter gear is going to be stronger, more durable, better pulling power. But on top of that, it's built to take a high-speed gear ratio. So this reel, we can offer a 2,500, 3,000, 4,000 high-speed gears, and then we go from a 2,000 all the way up to 5,000 that we offer in a standard gear ratio. So we got a lot of versatility with this reel. This is a great all-around freshwater reel, and it gives some crossover into light saltwater as well.
And this is the 3,000 size, gang, if you wanted to know. And this thing is really, really light. To have all that technology inside this little tiny reel is pretty spectacular. Good job.
So you notice anything on that spool?
Well, I like the rubberization inside here because now I don't have to put the little piece of tape on there so that the braided line doesn't spin free on the spool, which was a huge problem for me when I first started. I drove all the way from San Clemente, California to Ontario to tell John that the new reel he wanted me to test out didn't work because the line was just spinning around on the spool. And he said, Dave, I go, you can't tighten the drag on this thing, John. He said, Dave, the spool is not turning. The line's spinning around. So that's pretty good for people like myself. If you look inside there, that's actually rubberized right there, right? Is that rubber?
That's rubber.
Yeah, so the rubber keeps the spool from slipping when you're full of braid. So what we've been doing for years is putting a little piece of tape on there to stop it, but now you don't have to. That thinking of everything. Absolutely.
So, because of the diameter of the spool on a spinning reel, a lot of people really struggle to tie that knot because you have to get a couple wraps on there. So like you said, either put flex wrap or duct tape, or the easiest way is to put a little bit of monofilament on, but then you got to splice the knot. Not everybody knows how to do that. So this really, really helps out. So you get that knot tied on. Once you get a couple wraps, it's going to bite right in there.
Right, I can totally see that. So now what's this last beautiful little contraption we have here?
So this reel, this is one I'm super excited about, super proud of what our factory's been able to really bring out. This is what we call the Rockaway SI. And so SI stands for Surf Inshore, right? So if you're down in the Gulf, if you're down in the Southeast, anywhere in Florida, light a small tarpon, snook, redfish, speckled trout, flounder. Back at home in Southern California, this is an awesome reel for fishing in the bays for spotted bay bass, sand bass, halibut, stuff like that. It's a standard spinning reel, comes in 2,500, 3,000, 4,000, and a compact 5,000 size. All high-speed gear ratios in this reel, so they're going to be around 6.2 to 1, depending on the size. But what's amazing about this reel is that you've had Benji Kim on the show before, talking about the light inshore surf, how popular that is in California right now. You see the cosmetics on this and the Rockaway SP rod that's so popular in our market over there. You can't find a better matchup with this new Rockaway. That's the reason why the SI, the surf, plus the inshore, right? That's why we named it that way. The other reason this reel is so perfect for saltwater is that the body and the side plate are injected carbon fiber. So it's what we call C40X, so injected carbon fiber. So this reel is going to be even lighter than the Sapphire, and it's going to be more rigid. So if you hook a big fish, say you hook a white sea bass in the surf, you want to make sure that everything stays in proper alignment, the gears work correctly. And then the nice thing, you'll see a machined aluminum handle that screws in. So it can be on the left or the right side. All you got to do is, just like you did, unscrew it, and then you can put it on the other side if you want to do that. Super easy, also for storage, very easy to back that out. Nice machined aluminum two-tone spool, but housed inside that spool at the top, instead of a felt drag system that you see most reels have, this is going to come with carbon fiber. So
really? Carbon
fiber is going to be extremely smooth, but most importantly, not everybody knows to back their drags off over time. If you do that with felt, over time, you're going to get compression. So you're going to actually lose overall drag pressure, like high-end drag. This is going to allow you to maintain that same drag pressure. And then since you did open that up, you'll notice, what do you have right there? A little rubber grommet right there, right?
Right.
That's what we call the HydroBlock system. And this reel features what we call HydroBlock 2. So what you can see where Dave took off the drag knob right here, that's a big rubber seal that seals out the top of the spool system, so you don't get water into the drag system. On top of that is, if we just pop this off here, you won't be able to see it real clearly, but right underneath here there's a black cap. Underneath that black cap is an O-ring, and that's going to be on the top of the pinion gear, and so that's going to prevent water from entering the reel. The one area that's most susceptible for water intrusion on a reel is going down the spool shaft. So we're blocking out water from that main area, and then we have O-rings on both sides of the handle. So there's 4 different water seals in this reel that's going to ultimately give you a splash guard. It's not going to be completely waterproof or you're going to submerge it, but for most everyday angler, it's going to prevent them from having water enter the reel.
That's an amazing system, because Bill Varney talks about it all the time on Wednesdays, about how important it is to keep the sand and the salt water out of your spinning reel when you're fishing in the surf. Sounds like you guys kind of took care of that problem for most of us anyway. We still can't drop it in the sand, though.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You can't drop it in the sand, but it's going to help the majority of anglers prolong the life of their reel.
And that's the key today is we got to keep our reels as long as we can because everything's a little more expensive right now, right?
That is true. So one of the other things that we did, because saltwater is a tough environment, most manufacturers are going to put stainless steel ball bearings in here. They just have a stainless steel shield. We went a step further. These have rubber sealed bearings. So what that means is it's giving it a waterproof ball bearing. So you got stainless steel housing with a rubber insert and then full grease pack bearing. So there's nowhere for water to get in there and sit on the bearing. It can't get behind the rubber. So in addition to the water seals, those bearings are going to be more advanced than other reels that you see intended for inshore in the surf market.
How wonderful is that, gang? Thought about pretty much everything. And the cool thing about John is he's super approachable. You can come and ask him. He's on the show quite often. So if there's anything you guys are thinking about, you want to know about, can you go through your reels in the ocean? Like, no, you can't throw it in the ocean like you. He threw his Komodo in the, remember we talked about the other day, he threw his Komodo over the side. Not a good move there, Matt, Ryan. No, you don't want to throw these things in the water at all. So is there anything else that was coming through right now that they can see at ICAST that they couldn't see anywhere else? Is this kind of like the highlight of what's going on right now with the Okuma?
You know, there's some other products out there. You know, we didn't bring rods,
right?
For example,
but we have some new rods.
We have several new rods. You know, one of the hot ones, I don't know if we mentioned it last week, but the Toro jigging rods that we've talked about before. I brought out top of my head, I think it's 6 foot 4 inch, but it's a 2X rod, and we built that for the West Coast anglers for targeting bluefin, jigging at night, you know, with the vertical jigs. We brought that to Florida here at ICAST. The guys are going nuts over it. You know, they want to use it for jigging yellowfin. They want to use it for bottom fishing, for pulling groupers and AJs off the bottom. We've got the new line of Catalina rods, which I think you've seen. Yes. And then as far as combos go, I got one of the most amazing combos. The reel that we just talked about right here, the Rockaway, we took that same reel. It's called Tavares. We just renamed it and took one ball bearing out. And it's made on the DTR rod platform as an inshore rod. And you buy it as a combo. Normally you got to go buy it. You got to figure out what to pick for a rod, what to pick for a reel. I put it together at $150 retail. You got a package that fishes like a $200, $250 setup. I mean, it's truly amazing. It's another showstopper at the booth. A lot of the big chain stores and a lot of the big retailers are all committing to put it in here in the show. So really exciting.
And that's something I talk about a lot when I'm out and about talking to people. The really great thing about Okuma and why I've been with John for 20 years is because not only is the product phenomenal, but it's actually priced to the consumer. You don't have to be the president of the company to buy the rod and reel setup. You can actually go out there and get it, and you can go fish, and you can be confident with the product that you're fishing with that it's going to do what it's supposed to do, but you don't have to take a second on your house to buy it.
That's true, and actually it's a good point because I didn't mention on the 2 spinner reels what the prices are, but this reel is just so gorgeous looking. The reel starts at $89 retail price point. It's truly amazing. We had people in the booth, you put it in their hands and you have them guess, they're thinking it's a $200 reel.
Absolutely,
I mean,
all day,
just from
every
the
day.
cosmetics, and then when they spin the handle with a flight drive system and all that, then they're still guessing $200. The purpose-built reel, the Rockaway that we just talked about, it starts at $105. So there's a few odd retails right now which we can't control over the whole tariff situation.
Exactly.
But yeah, just over $100. I mean, 2 just truly amazing reels right there.
And the technology in those reels is quite amazing. To think that you're getting these things for less than $100, less than $110. Come on, guys. So think about that when you're out there shopping for a rod and reel combo. Always remember to check out Okuma because I don't think you quite understand the quality of these reels are absolutely amazing, and the rods. Like I'm going to be posting a video here in a couple days where my monkey is checking out the durability of the PCH rods. He's hanging upside down on it, and it's flexing and handled the weight of the monkey just fine, didn't it?
Yeah, when we started working with you, Dave, I had no idea that I had a a secondary product tester with you with your monkeys.
Nobody else in the industry is testing rods with a monkey like John and I are. So there you go. It's pretty spectacular. And then, gang, once again, if you look at the bottom of the screen right underneath John and I, you can grab the QR code. You can go check out everything at okumausa.com, right?
Yeah. And, one of the other things, we talk about a lot of the details and the specs, and, we got a lot of different products, catfish and all this other stuff that we can't talk about, the whole time on the show. But on our YouTube page for Okuma, I've done product videos for everything that we're introducing. So if you want more details, go to the Okuma Fishing USA YouTube page, and you can watch. They're all about 2-minute videos. They'll give you a lot of in-depth information.
Don't forget to check us out every single Wednesday. We're always showing off new products on our Wednesday shows for Okuma. John comes on quite often, 4 or 5 times a year on our live shows on Wednesdays. But every Wednesday we show off a new Okuma product or an Okuma product that Bill Barney and myself are using. So always check us out on Wednesdays if you want to stay up to date on all the different things at Okuma. And I know for a fact that if you go over to your booth right now, you're going to get inundated by a bunch of people. And I know bringing you out of it for 20 minutes or 30 minutes in the middle of ICAST is pretty amazing. So I want to thank you for that. Yep. You and Xander need to get back over there with what you got going on. Thank you so much for taking a half an hour to spend with us. I think everybody enjoyed it. We had lots of views, lots of people. We'll come back in it and answer some questions later. Al Clowers says, hi, John. Hey, Captain Al. All right, so we're going to let you and Xander gather this stuff up, and I got a really special guest, not that John's not, but I got another super special guest going to jump in with us right now. It's going to be pretty fun. Do you know Chastain?
I don't.
From Chastain Nation? She's huge. She's got a huge following. She does so much give back for the children. She works with the highly disabled children, taking them fishing and getting them out on the water and showing them that they are not as disabled as they think they are, because pretty much anybody can fish, right?
Fish don't care what you look like.
Right.
That's very true.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, perfect example. We got Dave right here, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, both of us.
Thank
Good
you.
examples.
Thank you.
Well, Dave, thank you for having us on.
My pleasure. Yeah. Look at that. Proof's in the pudding, gang. They won the award. You can't fake that. It wasn't fake. So jump in here, young lady. Let's do this. Thank you guys very much. Throw those in your dad's backpack. All right.
Do I grab his mic?
Yes, please. Yeah, we got to get that mic, or John would be walking through the building talking about how dumb it was to be on my podcast. We'd all hear him.
I went to the bathroom with the mic on, so we can't get more.
Oh, how exciting must have that been?
Peeing with the mic on is great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, young lady, welcome to the show.
Thanks. Thank you for having me. I'm just happy to be sitting down.
Yes, it feels good, right?
Oh, my Lord.
We have been standing literally for 4 days, nonstop. We met out at the pond. You were supposed to throw the net out there, but it was pouring down rain.
We're going to catch some rain.
And no one wanted to watch. If you haven't followed her, she's viral on most platforms. You can follow her. She's going to tell you how to follow her. If you want to learn how to throw a cast net, gang, over in the Promar catalog, we have a phenomenal picture of this net. How big was that net?
I actually stole one of the catalogs. I throw a 10-foot 3/8.
10 foot.
I stole one.
And it opens up. Just unbelievable. Most of you could only dream about, here, bring it way up to the camera and show them. Most of you could only dream about getting it to lay out like that. That's the key to the catch a bait, though, and it has to lay out, right?
Well, I mean, we call it pork chop, looks like a pork chop or a banana, and it catches bait, but not as much as if it was all the way open.
If it lays out wide open.
If it's all the way open, it helps, but it doesn't have to. I mean, whatever catches bait works.
And gang, I've talked before about this young lady because of the things she does for our industry. It's our industry. I talk about every day on the podcast. This is our industry. Those of you that are watching, myself, the young lady, it's our industry, and it's important for us to save our industry because there is an entity out there in the United States that does not want us to fish.
The next generation is the next generation. We're putting it all in their hands.
Absolutely.
So no pressure if you're the next
do
generation.
But you do a very good job of laying it out there and taking. I don't want to say disabled because they're not. You're
They're,
just
like, differently.
different. But you're
Different
showing them that it's cool, and you're introducing their parents that it's okay to take your children fishing, right?
Fish don't care. They
Fish-
don't care I'm a girl. They don't care you're a dude. They don't care if he has Down syndrome or he's missing a leg. They don't care. They're hungry.
And then to see their faces and to see you spending that time and that effort, you put out so much effort to give back to our industry. You know you do. You do. I know I don't want to make you cry, but you do, and it makes me tear up thinking about it.
I'm
You
emotional
give back
at my
so
age.
much to our industry, and it's just so special for what you're doing out there. And I don't think you get enough recognition. So that's why I thought it was super important to bring you on the podcast. I'm not
Thanks.
trying to make you cry. But what she does is
I'm emotional.
it's very special, and I want her to lay it out here for you guys so you can understand how you can find out and help, because it takes the whole village to do what
Yes,
you're doing.
it does.
You-
So that's
you
why it's
do
called
it.
Chastain Nation.
Right.
It's a nation of companies and other captains and other anglers even that help me take these kids fishing. I want to take every kid fishing, but I know I can't. So I have a little nation of people that help me and some other captains that are involved as well. So
And
I
so
reach everybody.
just to give all our viewers that don't really know what you do, kind of break it down for a little bit. We got time. We're going to bring Chris on at the end here to wrap it up, but tell them, everybody, what you actually do.
So I have a nonprofit called Chastain Nation, and then I have a TV show called They're Like My Lens, where it pretty much showcases the nonprofit, where we take differently abled kids out fishing. We show the abilities, not the disabilities, through the sport of fishing. So we show kids that they are told their entire life, you can't walk, you can't do this, you shouldn't do this, you probably will never do this. And I take them fishing, and I'm like, here, reel this in. And they're only focused on reeling in the fish. They are not focused on their next doctor's appointment, chemo, radiation, therapy, nothing. Even for the parents. The parents even fish sometimes too. And I see the parents in the back of the boat, they're just like, just relaxing. Like, you can just see them melt into the boat, and they're just chilling. They're just, only focus is the fish, and that's it. So, sum it all up.
Right.
That's pretty much it.
It's like we talked about on the show yesterday, gang. I don't care who you are. The moment that line touches the water, the only thing that matters is getting a bite. And that allows all that stress and everything else that's going on around you in your life to kind of disappear for a minute,
Exactly.
right?
Yep. Some people, they go drinking when they're stressed. Some people run. I go fishing. I mean, sometimes it does add stress to me. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes it makes me more stressed, but overall, it makes me sit back and relax and really be with God's country.
And then how can our viewers get involved to help you with the cause? And gang, you don't have to be in Florida. You don't have to be in the United States to help. Anywhere you're at, you can help.
Yeah.
Like logging on to your
Yep,
website,
so my
getting
website,
involved.
Yep, website, just sharing the show. We take donations. We are a nonprofit, 501c3, so we got all that covered as well. But donations are the biggest thing.
Brian, can you put her website up on the show right now for us?
Thanks.
And then also now you have so many hats that you're wearing, and something that's kind of cool that you talked to me about out at the pond the other day is now you've started your own business where you are helping people with their social media. Talk about that for a few minutes.
Yeah, so I went off the beaten path. I did something kind of scary, and I started my own business. Another one. I can't sit still. So I don't make any money from the show or from the nonprofit. So I am a social media manager / marketing person, if you will. I started my own business doing that. So I'm on Andaria Island, which is pretty much where the last two hurricanes last summer hit, and I'm trying to get our town back up on the map. So I'm helping them run their social media and get us back on the map and back to normal. So I'm doing that.
And I had Reed the fishmonger on yesterday, and we kind of talked about social media and the way him and I kind of go about it. And there's a lot of people that look at what you do, what I do, what Reed, and how did they get to where they are today. And that's kind of what you're helping people to learn how to do it, because it's not easy. Let's be honest.
Social media is a full-time job.
It's not easy, but if you want to do it, to have someone like Chastain that's going to take you to the next level and allow you to do it. And if you follow the simple recipe that you lay out for them, they can be successful like we are, right? But
It's gotta
most
be
people,
real, authentic.
most people are too lazy though.
Yes.
Let's
It's a
get
lot
to
of
the
work.
end of the day.
It is a lot of work, and people don't like being in front of cameras and doing silly little videos, but that's just how
And at
social
the
media is now.
at the end of the day, we were talking about you and I get home and we sit down and we have 3 hours of content. Now we got to break it down to that
Yes.
long form on YouTube that you're doing, or the shorts that we're both doing.
Yeah.
You got to sit down and break it all down, but we do that.
It's worth it.
Even
It's hard,
even
but
though
it's
we're
worth
up,
it.
you can't tell anybody that you're tireder than we are, and we still are doing it. So if you follow the simple recipe that Chastain lays out for you, you'll be blown away at how successful you can become. Because there's a lot of people out there throwing garbage out,
Yeah, you have to be different. You
but
gotta be
there's
odd
no
to stand
authentic,
out.
nothing authentic. Like I told you, I watch you because of your authenticity. You're super authentic. It's real when you watch what she's doing, and if it doesn't, a lot of the times when I see you doing your stuff, I'm back in the background with tears in my eyes because it's so special. Well, it is, because it's all about taking children fishing. I talk about it so much. We even have a whole section on our website at Your Saltwater Guide of the proper way to take a child fishing, because it matters.
Yeah.
Because we have friends. I mean, you're not that you're old like I am, but
My
we
back
have
is
friends your
old.
age that don't want to fish because their parents or somebody blew it when they
It's
were little.
hardcore. Yeah, they were too hardcore.
Once you blow it, it's over. It doesn't matter if Wahoo are biting in San Francisco Bay. They're not going to go because you blew it. And then once you blew it, it's over. So did you get the website up there? You got it up? Everybody can see it?
Thank you. That's cool. That's cool.
All right. Perfect, Brian. Good job. Renee says, hey, Brian. Hey, Renee. So do you have anything else you want to share before you get on your way? Because I know the minute you hit that door, you're going to have 1,000 people trying to get your attention.
I was just hiding by the bathrooms before this. I actually found a dog, and I was petting the dog. I was giving it booty scratches, and it was like doing little twirls. I'm like, you're never going home again. I'm like, you're coming home with me.
Yesterday, you were wandering around in your pink outfit. That really made you visible to everyone.
And Extra Tough has neon pink ones. I went over there, and they said, we got you. I'm like,
nice.
They match my nails. They match the nails, the pink nails.
Everything about you is pink. It's so cool. It's so great. Check her out. Follow her. Give everybody your Insta and your YouTube real quick before you jump out of here.
All social medias are Chastain Nation, and it's spelled, I have a weird name, I know. It's ChastenAtion. So it's the website, pretty much. And then the TV show is called Their Life, My Lens. So I do post on that as well. I do both. But the TV show is mainly just the promoting the episodes, and then Chastain Nation is all the like influencing and the funny little TikTok things that I do that for some reason go viral. So it's always the ones that you don't want to go viral.
Right,
it's like
but it's authentic.
I worked 30 minutes on this, editing it, and nothing happens. And I post one of me like tripping, and it goes viral. I'm like, awesome. Dropping a fish goes viral.
It's so cool though, and it's so fun to follow her. So make sure you check it out. And once you find her, hit the notification button so you'll see her new videos when they come out. Hit the like button and subscribe to her channel. Everything helps for what she's doing to take children fishing and children that are highly disabled. She gives back like you can't even believe. And that is one thing about what you're doing that touched my heart so deep inside. And you and I were together last year. I wanted to bring you on the podcast. Life got in the way. But here we are, and I stopped right now. We're going to definitely bring you back on the podcast. I want to do stuff with you live fishing like we're doing with all the other people in our network. So when you're out there on your boat, you just click your phone on, you'll be live to thousands of people, and it's pretty cool.
That'd be cool.
And we do it every day.
Yeah.
It's pretty spectacular. Awesome. Then they can see
you what you do. And do it.
Yeah, that's what we want to see.
Yeah,
it'll be bitching.
You can see the kid kick my butt.
And bitching means good.
Yeah.
I know you kids don't understand what bitchin' means, but it means good. It's kind of cool. So I'm going to let you blow out of here. I'm going to bring Chris from CCA in here. Is that cool? Yes. Thank you so much for everything you do for our industry. I really appreciate you. And she is, I know you guys have been watching her for a long time. I have. I was blown away the other day to find out that she's a grown-up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not throwing you under the bus.
I can rent a car and everything now.
Absolutely. She drives. She can go to the bar. It's crazy.
They still ID me, though. I'm like, oh, thank you.
When she told me she was going to happy hour, I said, I got to call your parents. They got to know you're going to happy hour. She goes, Dave, I'm 25. Shut up. Crazy.
I can have a quarter life crisis now.
All right.
Fine.
Thank you very
Bye.
much for being on the
you.
show. I appreciate it. Give Chris your mic.
Yeah. Rockaway,
So-
all my conversations with the dog. I'm gonna go steal the dog.
Bye, honey. Thank you very much for your time. That's the valuable thing. Gang, you know what's going on up in Sacramento right now? Chris's better half, Tony's up there with my sister right now, trying to make sure that we keep fishing open, because we talked about it. The United States of America, they're on a mission to stop fishing, but nowhere like in California.
It always starts in California, and then it just moves east out. And my counterparts, hello everyone, by the way. My counterparts all across the country in Florida, Texas, Louisiana, and all that, they always say thank you for all the, I guess, BS, for lack of a better word, that just moves out east from that originates in California. But Dave, it's good to be on with you, man.
Thank you, Chris. I'm glad that you made the time to come, because like everybody, like Chastain and John Bretza, everybody's super busy. We come to the ICAST show. It's a huge event, but everybody wants a second of our time. So to actually get you guys to come in on the show today with me is very special. So thank you.
Yeah, always a great opportunity. I really appreciate it. It's funny how we have to basically fly thousands of miles away just to be in person with each other. It's pretty crazy, but enjoying the show, seeing a whole bunch of familiar faces, new faces, getting new sponsors, talking to new people, and all that. It's always a good opportunity. ICAST is super fun, and it's day 2. It feels like we've been here for multiple days, but having a lot of fun.
Well, Brian and I have been. Brian and I have been here since Sunday, and we've been working our butts off. Brian and I did a big event out at the pond on Tuesday while you guys were all in here setting the booths up. We did a big event then. We did a big event yesterday. I got to do a seminar at ICAST, which is a big deal. That there's not a lot of opportunity for seminars, but we got to be up there on stage. That's
not
right.
A lot of people get to do that.
Then I was pretty stoked that 2 years in a row I got to do it. They've never heard anyone talk like me out here in Florida, so they're kind of blown away. I don't know if I'll get this. I don't know if I'll get to speak next year. I had a Karen come up to me and tell me if I could please be quiet while I'm doing my seminar. I'm like,
oh my gosh.
She's lucky we weren't in Orange County, California.
Yeah, that's not your MO.
She would have been crying.
Well, I mean, ICAST for us, for me personally, it's really mind-blowing to see, because, CCA Florida has a massive booth. I don't know if you've gotten a chance to see it. But it's a completely different animal out here in Florida and in other states too, compared to what we do in California. But it's been so great to see. It's super refreshing about not only seeing the big booth and not seeing, the big team out here in CCA Florida, but how people respond. All their members, all of their fellow followers, and all that stuff just basically respond to the CCA brand, to all those folks. And it's almost like a completely different mission out here compared to in California, but it's been great. I kind of see a little bit of comments here, but
absolutely,
yeah, good to see everyone. Good to be back on the podcast, and just really stoked.
So, Chris, there's a big meeting going on in Southern California right now, which has a lot to do with what you and I are coming back to after the ICAST show.
Yeah.
Have you had? I haven't talked to my sister, but have you had anything from Tony, anything that we need to let anybody know about? Because I'm going to let everybody know about what Donna tells me Monday. But if you've heard anything,
I haven't heard anything specific. But other than everyone, the whole gang, other than us, are there. They're doing a good job. They already put in their public comment, and I think this afternoon all the people they still have to go through other public comment as well. But it seems to be a pretty good meeting so far. And I'm sure I'll probably learn a little bit more tonight, being 3 hours ahead of the West Coast. But I think this meeting was really to find out, okay, how are we going to evaluate all these petitions? And it's really kind of intriguing to see what CDFW comes back with, what the commission comes back with. But I think we'll learn a lot more tonight, as David mentioned. The meetings are going on right now. That's why Tony's not here. She's in Sacramento, as is your sister. So we'll learn a little bit more tonight once I get the debriefing. But It's important. It's important to be there. It's important to get involved. I think this is where the real work starts, because once we have that framework, once we have basically that, like I said, the framework from CDFW as to, okay, how are they going to evaluate all those petitions, all the bin 2 ones at least. And I guess this is kind of where the real work begins and the starting point. So really important.
Well, gang, I know a lot of you are going, Dave, you didn't let us know this meeting. My sister told me to take a deep breath, David. Don't get everybody all wound up right this second. She said, let us go find out what's going on, what they have planned, because they didn't need 150 of us showing up to talk that we don't want it. They already know we don't want it. Let's find out what we don't want, though. Let's find out what they got planned. So the meeting that's going on right now, public comment, yeah, that was for the petitions that are coming in, like Chris was saying. And these are the people that are trying to figure out how to get more of the ocean closed or more of the land closed. So we need to find out what they have proposed before we go back into battle with them. We need to know what they want to do, because we can't. There was no need for all of you to show up, because you would have for lack of a better word, we would have, if you and I and all of us got on there, we would have screwed it up. We just want to see what they want.
There's a time and a place.
Let's see what they want, and then we can get in there and we can help change the process, but we need to see what they want first.
Right. So I think, later on, we're being prepared right now, or we are preparing that later on this year is really when the work starts and where we could really use your help, in public comment. There's going to be, in the next couple months, there's going to be a couple letters going out, asking for your input, asking for you to sign on to a petition, all that stuff, real call to action for you at home to really participate in the process. Right now, this meeting wasn't the time or place, but I assure you, coming down the pipe,
we're going to need all of you. We're going to need everybody, just like during the sand bass thing. We're going to need everybody. And gang, I want you all to hang in, because we got a big announcement coming up. We're going to be bringing in a new captain, going to be doing live shows from San Francisco. We're going to open up a whole new part of our live fishing. So don't, those of you that got to go back to work, sucks to be you. The rest of you guys hang on and watch, because it's going to be exciting. We're going to go a little bit over today. We're going to go past. But I want to talk a little bit about the Stars tournament, which is a big deal. And I know a ton of my members are in the Stars tournament. We've already won 3 weeks, our members, which is pretty cool. Our members have won 3 of the weeks already, prizes. So that's pretty bitchin'.
And we're halfway through. There's still plenty of more. I know your next guest has definitely gotten in on Star and been a huge contributor for us up in the Bay Area. And it's super fun. We've already surpassed last year's numbers, which is great. We have a lot of new people winning every week, which is great. And Dave, I can't wait until September 13th is when we're actually going to make announcements as to who is going to walk away with a brand new Parker boat and 9 other grand prizes.
So, but we got 60 some people watching live right now. Explain to everybody, because they're like, Star Tournament, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Well, explain to them what this Star Tournament is and how easy it is. I mean, I love the balloon category this year and the short sand bass category. There's so many ways. You don't have to catch a 500-pound bluefin to win, right?
No. So the way that our tournament works, and this is completely different from other state chapters, to where all you have to do is catch a qualifying length fish, and you're in the tournament. You're basically qualified to win anything. Basically, we have 10 grand prizes. Each species has a qualifying length. So, for example, saltwater bass are our most popular category. That includes spotted bay bass, sand bass, and calico bass. All you have to do is catch an 18-inch fish, take a picture of it on the CCA measuring device, and submit it on the Fishing Chaos app, and you're in. It basically, the way that it works is every fish equals 1 entry into a drawing at the end of the year, where we pick winners for the boat and the 9 other grand prizes, one of which is a $1,200 gift card to Promar Ahi too. So we're really stoked. Shout out to those guys. And the winner of the boat last year, Dave, we've already talked about it, had 2 entries the entire year. 2 entries. That's it. That's all it takes. And the guy behind him won a trip to Alaska, a week long. Actually, I think he's in Alaska this week. He submitted 1 halibut the entire year, still won a trip to Alaska. And also the guys who submitted 90 to 100 plus fish all throughout the year, those guys won something too. So, there's no shortage of things to win. If you're somewhere between the age of 13 and 17 or know somebody like a kid or a grandkid, for $10, you get an opportunity to win a $5,000 scholarship. And we're giving away 3 scholarships this year. Each worth $5,000. The CCA membership and the entry to the youth division is $10. That's all it is. And we're 3 kids are going to walk away with some dough for school and all that.
And how can they get involved? How can they get to the CCA Star Tournament?
So,
and all the money goes to CCA, which is trying to make sure that we keep our right to fish in the state of California open.
All of those funds help us out substantially to where they allow us to go to these meetings that are happening right now. They allow us to do all kinds of stuff and resources, plentiful resources. But all you have to do is ccacalifornia.org/star, or you can go on our Fishing Chaos app. It's just you download the Fishing Chaos app for free, search the CCA Star Tournament. You can actually register on the app itself. For current members, it's $40. If you're not a member, it's $40 for the membership and $40 for the tournament entry. But it's super fun stuff. We can't wait to really give away. And then one thing also I'll mention, September 13th, mark it in your calendars. We will be at Bass Pro Shops in Irvine on September 13th. We're going to give away all the prizes there in person. And it's free to attend. It's a party. Come on out, join us, see some really exciting people. Hopefully you're the one that wins the boat. So it's going to be super fun. A lot of good stuff.
Pro Shop in Irvine?
Yeah.
In Irvine. So that's easy for all of you to get centralized.
Oh, yeah.
Between San Diego and LA, it's right there in beautiful Orange County, California, behind the orange curtain, so it's safe.
Yeah, I like it.
It's safe. I'm sorry, I'm just being honest. Yeah. But gang, you want to become a member of ccacalifornia.org. It's super important, gang, because Chris and Tony and all of us are trying to keep your rights open to go fishing, plus keeping you abreast of what's going on as far as things go down. And my sister's part of CCA, lifetime member, board member of CCA, myself, lifetime member. My dad was a huge part, because what it's all about, like when Chastain was just on here, it's all about keeping the children and our youth fishing, and heaven forbid we're going to have that right taken away from us. So let's all stay involved. ccacalifornia.org. You'll see all the stuff going on. Chris is very good at making sure he's keeping everything relevant on the website. So thank you very much for jumping in here with us.
Thanks,
I'm going to bring Steve in for a few minutes. Can you share your mic with him?
Absolutely.
All right. Cool. Thank you very much, Chris. Thanks for being in here with us. I appreciate you. So, gang, we're going to wrap everything up here right now. We got Steve. He's got a bunch of stuff going on. He gets to fish saltwater sturgeon. I don't know if you guys have ever had an opportunity to do that. And he has a phenomenal charter boat business up in the Bay Area. We're going to talk about that for a little bit. We're going a few minutes over the noontime show today. But I just wanted to bring in some key people that are out here wandering around. I've touched base with some great people. We're going to have some Florida guys, some guides from Florida going live with us. And I spent some time with Steve yesterday talking about his business. And he's going to become part of the Your Saltwater Guide family, gang. So when you're up in the San Francisco Bay, or if you live up there, we got a new member of Your Saltwater Guide family. Thank you. Welcome to the family.
Nice.
Welcome to the family. You're going to be going live with us too, I hear.
I'll be doing that pretty soon.
That's going to be spectacular, bro. I'm excited to see.
A whole different world up there.
I want to see what goes on up there. Nothing better than live, right?
That's it,
So explain to everybody what you got going on, because you're brand new to the family. Let's go.
So my name is Captain Steve Gutierrez. I run Deadliest Cast Sport Fishing out of San Francisco. Been fishing San Francisco in the Bay and the coast since I can remember. I literally have pictures of me and diapers fishing the surf with my dad.
Heck yeah, nothing better, right?
So nothing else I've ever known but fishing Northern California, the Bay Area, all the coastal stuff. But yeah, I run a charter. I do everything from halibut, striped bass, salmon, rockfish, lingcod. A lot of lingcod. We do a lot
Yeah.
of.
Are you allowed to keep them up there?
Oh yeah. Well, the name is definitely cast. We like to cast swim baits and jigs and stuff like that. I prefer to run trips without bait and do jigs. And like he said, I also do saltwater sturgeon. There is a lot of sturgeon in the bay.
Crazy, gang.
And,
the prehistoric dinosaur fish.
Yeah, we've had
The
them up to 10 and a half feet.
That's a bucket list fish for me. I want to go check that fishery out for sure. So, what are your chart? You got how many people can go on your boat? What are you doing?
We can
What
do
kind
it
of a
up
boat?
to 6 people. It's a 240 Ocean Pro used craft. It moves pretty quick. We'll do about 42 miles an hour.
But most of the time, you don't even need to leave the bay, right?
No, a lot of the fishing, like springtime, we do a lot of halibut. There's a pretty big one I caught in April. It was about 46 pounds. And that was
How cool is
20 feet
that?
of water. So
46-pound California halibut.
Yeah.
That's a big animal.
Get on striper
right there.
boils and
You're catching stripers in the bay.
Stripers, yeah,
Bill Barney and I talk about it on our Wednesday shows all the time. That's kind of a bucket list for us in Southern California. A striper, huh?
Yeah, they're fun. We get a lot of them. I actually know Bill.
How big are the stripers you guys are catching?
The biggest that I've pulled up is 34 pounds.
So you know this guy. Look at this knucklehead Bill. He's hanging out right here.
Who is it?
There he is.
Yeah, I've met him before.
You know this guy?
So, yeah.
Bill Barney?
Yeah.
You know Steve?
Met him years ago.
Hey guys.
How are you?
Sorry, I was working on my fish report there, typing
no
stuff
problem. We got Steve's joined the family. He's going to start doing live fishing shows with us.
there. That's awesome. Thank you, Steve.
No problem.
Yeah.
Looking so forward to getting reports from San Francisco, the Bay Area. You know, like you said, stripers. You've got all kinds of fish up there we don't have, like salmon.
Salmon's good.
Yeah, they had a big season up there this year. I think it was 2 whole
It
days.
was 2 days, yeah.
Woohoo! I mean, we should celebrate it. We should make Gavin the king. I know, because he gave us 2 days of salmon fishing. Oh, wait a minute. He is the king of California. What am I saying? He already is the king.
He says he loves fishing.
Yeah, I know.
He says he's a big fisherman.
Yeah, he is. So, yeah, I'm super excited to bring Steve on board the family and start to turn the family on to what's going on in San Francisco Bay, because that's a really unique fishery up there, right?
It's fun.
To target stripers.
Yep.
I mean, Bill and I, we get all excited when one of our members sends us a picture of a striper. Could you imagine going out with you and targeting them?
Last week, before we came down here, I think it was Monday, we had full limits of stripers. And,
how many's the limit?
2 per person. We had a full boat, and we had a limit of them in, I don't know, I'd say under 10 minutes.
Unbelievable.
It was chaos. The screen was lit up. Birds were working.
How big are these stripers?
I think the biggest idea was, I don't know, about 12 to 15 pounds.
That's a beautiful striper. I'll take it
perfect.
all day, every day.
They're pulling us under the motor and everything. Just chaos. There's fish everywhere. Just grab the line, hand line in over the rail.
How cool is
crazy.
that?
Yeah.
How wonderful is that? Now, I know you're part of CCA and you're part of the STAR tournament and all that stuff. Well, Bill Varney's been our conduit while I'm at ICAST show, watching this meeting that's going on and what's going on. And the reason, once again, why we didn't get you guys all wound up is because we need to see what's going to happen. Then we can get involved. So Bill's our conduit, just like my sister and Tony. They're all gathering up all the information. So what kind of stuff are you hearing is going on besides the fact that they want to close fishing in California? We all know that. But what other kind of keynotes do we want, Steve and I want to hear about?
Well, first of all, like, how unfair is it that you go to Florida and get to go tarpon fishing, and I got to watch the stupid meeting for 2 days? I mean, I need a vacation after this. So yesterday, we had our first day of the meetings yesterday. Today's our second day of the meetings. So first of all, I just want to talk a little bit about numbers. And you and I, Dave, talked about this a little bit yesterday. There were 93 people viewing the Zoom meeting yesterday by the Fish and Game Commission, or the MRC. It depends on what they're meeting about as to what they call themselves. There were basically 3 anglers and 1 hunter and 89 other people that were mostly NGOs that were representing there. So we had very little representation there. Yesterday, we have a little bit more representation today. Your sister Donna, sweet Donna, is up there. That's really nice. Jamie Dimon called in, talked a bit about her feelings. Wayne Koto talked. David Rosenthal's watching. There's a couple other anglers up there, but really the predominant number are the government workers who are getting paid to watch and the NGOs. Now, yesterday we talked about a lot of things that don't affect us so much, but things like commercial fishing for halibut, long line or rather pop-up gear for entanglements and whales and different stuff like that. Some of the information that come up, you learn these little gems listening. One was they were saying yesterday that because of commercial long line fishing for California halibut, that only 14% of the halibut that are in the ocean spawn. If there was no fishing, 100% of them would spawn. I have no idea how they come up with these numbers.
Oh my God. Well,
it's unbelievable.
It's just the slimy stuff that we talk about all the time. But Bill, we need them to present their lies so that we can come back later and get involved. There was a big reason why we didn't get everybody involved in it this time, because we weren't going to get to share anything.
Yes.
They don't want to hear what we have to say, but we want to hear what the slime balls have to say. And once again, no science at all. No science. They're telling you that 100% of them will spawn if we quit fishing for them. That's a slimy statement. As slimy as you can
well,
get.
there's no science to back that up, and how in the world would you produce science for something like that anyway? You go and interview them, so that was ridiculous.
So
we learned so much from this meeting because, as you said, Dave, this is not a public meeting where we need to make public comment. This is a meeting where those of us who are interested need to attend to learn. And another thing we learned from yesterday, which I did not know after 30 years of going to these meetings, is that the department and the scientist, they, how for years we've said, like, well, why don't we have catch and release areas? Why can't we do catch and release? How would that not be good? The reason for that is we found out yesterday that that the scientists assume, because they have no science, that 100% of all of the fish that we release into the ocean that are catch and release die. They use that format. They say that we can't do catch and release because no science has been done. So we're going to default on being conservative and say that whoever lets a fish go, whether it's a sea bass or a sculpin or a sand bass, 100% of them die. And that's why none of these closures have areas where we say we do catch and release, because they assume they all die. So that was yesterday. There's other facts we have to, but we'll talk about those maybe.
So why do they have a size limit on fish then? See, that goes against everything that everybody's
totally
doing. So all these people are slimy liars. They're just slime ball liars. But it's cool that we're gathering all this information. So we're going to have really good talking points when it's going to be our turn to talk. And they're just hanging themselves. Slimy liars that do
absolutely
not want your children and my children to go fishing. That's what it's all about.
So that's where we move into today's discussion. So today's discussion is about all of the petitions that have been brought forward, many of which are from NGOs, non-government organizations, that have been brought in front of the department for their consideration. So that's what we were working on today, was basically talking about bin 1 and bin 2. So bin 1 is basically half of the petitions. I think those are the ones like San Francisco North. And then bin 2 are all of the petitions south of San Francisco to the Mexican border. And there's been quite a few petitions where there's been increasing the size of the MPA, creating new marine protected areas. there was one petition to reduce the size by an acre or two, just because it included an area that didn't need to be included. But all of the rest of them have been adding new regulations and new closure areas and increasing the areas that are already closed. So the point is that the department needs to review all of these things, both legally and otherwise, economically, legally, environmentally. And then once they get that consolidated, then we're going to have a chance to talk about them, to have our own public opinion on those things. So it looks like they can't nail that down. They're now talking in the meeting about public comment period coming sometime between October and July of next year, which is a long time. One of the issues with that is the fact that they may have already made up their mind on what they're going to do by doing their research for 3 or 4 or 5 months before they allow us to opinionate on it. In other words, this is like the previous process where they already knew what they were doing. They let us go and speak and then just did whatever they're going to do anyway. We'll see if that's the case or not. But in the meantime, we will go through each individual petition, I personally will, and we'll look at those and we'll come up, not on all of them because some of them are not controversial, they're just changing the name and so forth on them, but the ones that are controversial, we'll come up with our position on those, and then we'll do a position paper and speak on those things. Now, to leave you with one last thing here and let you guys get back to fishing, is that I want to give you one example of one of the petitions. One of the petitions is good to close all shore fishing, and I believe out 3 miles from about 2 miles up the beach from Morro Bay, all the way across the harbor of Morro Bay onto the sand spit that would be to the south of Morro Bay. They would close all of that area to surf fishing, which has striper, perch. And as Dave knows, I've done seminars up there for 15 years at the state park, teaching thousands of people in Central California about surf fishing of every ethnicity, of every social background, economic background, everybody, as many people as possible up there. And they're thinking of closing that. The person who petitioned that is a tribal member of the Northern Chumash tribe. And in their petition, this is what they said: we want all of that area closed to fishermen, except for Chumash tribal members who will be able to go there and fish on their own. Now, how can we do that? That would be like me saying, we're going to close all the fishing there to everybody who's not white. We're going to close all the fishing there to everybody who's not black. We're going to close all the fishing to everybody who's not Asian. That would never be acceptable. How is it acceptable that tribal members want to have the right to close an area where they really have no right to the land? They talk about having a right to the land, but they have no physical or written or any right whatsoever to that land, which they're basically saying they want to make it private to themselves. So that's why we review each one of these petitions. We'll get all of the information out to our viewers, and then we can go in when the time is right and give our opinion on that and give them our written papers on that.
Well, thank you very much for the update, Bill. That's a lot of information, and we'll put it together better on Wednesday when you and I are live on the show. So thank you for all that. Thanks for paying attention to the meeting. Thanks for tuning in today and letting us all know what's going on. And have the great rest of the weekend, and I'll talk to you. Give me those game plans, damn it. Hurry up.
I sent you the one, and we'll have the fish report here in a few minutes for you too. But I got to get back to the meeting, okay?
All right, buddy. See you later.
Good to see you guys.
See you, buddy.
All right. So, gang, let's see. Let's get back to it. So, gang, we got Steve's website up here. I'm going to throw it back up on the screen, and then we're going to talk. So that's how you get a hold of him, at Deadliest Cast Fishing on YouTube. And then your website, is it deadliestcast.com?
Yeah, deadliestcastfishing.com. On Instagram, the same. It's all over the place.
So all you got to do is go on YouTube, send him a message on there. He's going to get a hold of it. He's going to answer right back to you. Yep. There's some cool things that go on up in San Francisco Bay that most of us don't know about, like the halibut fishing up there is off the hook, right? It's absolutely insane, gang. If you want to get a legal halibut, you got to get with this man, and he'll tell you exactly when the time is. You were on that halibut bite up there all by yourself for a while, right?
Yeah, that's been pretty good.
All by yourself. Just give everybody some type of an idea of how many. And I know we shouldn't talk about it because the Fish and Wildlife are watching us, and it's going to be detrimental to us because we caught fish. The last thing they want you to do is catch fish, so they're probably going to slam us with another limit. But go ahead and just share with everybody anyway.
Well, as far as the halibut, I've been getting them since I'd say mid-February or so. It's been nonstop before the rest of the boat started fishing them. I fish a lot in the South Bay, so I have an advantage. It's my backyard. I know it really well. And once we got live bait in the bay, a lot of the boats started doing that, and that wasn't really working. So I started playing with swim baits again. I like to use our
You like to check the
and we
lures.
just started just going off on them, just nonstop.
And how many are you allowed to have up there per person?
It's 2 per person up there.
2 per person.
2 per person.
And they did that last year because we were catching fish.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, I'll be damned if Steve's going to get to make a living. So we're going to take it down from 5 to 2 with no science at all. They used his fish count. This is how crazy this is. So you had such good fishing right now. Aren't you a little afraid they're going to take it away? Because they took it away because you had good fishing last
It
year.
used to be 3 for us.
Okay,
And then
5 in
It
SoCal.
used to be 3 for us, and then when the salmon closed, I think they're saying that it's getting
Too much pressure on
a
it.
lot harder because nobody's fishing salmon anymore. You can't. But the grade of fish I've seen this year has been pretty good. We're getting fish in the bay that we normally get on the coast. So I don't think there's a shortage of them. I think there's a lot
We
of them.
know there's not.
Yeah.
We know there's not a shortage.
I've been getting them nonstop, and it's just a matter of just moving around and finding them.
So your 2 fish limit hasn't really been a problem.
No,
You
not
get
at
that
all.
pretty much most of the time when you
Yeah,
go fishing with
It's been
you.
pretty good.
How wild is that? And you're in the bay. So
Yeah.
that's another thing people don't understand. Up in San Francisco, you think, oh my gosh, it's so rough up there. You're fishing in the bay. There's no swell.
Yeah, just
A little bit of
just
wind chop
a little bit of
once in
wind
a
here and
while.
there, but when you got a fast
But
boat
you
like
can
mine,
still
I
get
can
out
away
of the
from it.
wind
Yes.
chop, huh?
I get away from it really quick.
So it's like you guys watch Captain Al Clowers fishing in the back bay of San Diego. Same type of thing, but Steve's got going up there in San Francisco Bay. But if you look at San Francisco Bay, that's a big piece of water.
huge.
Huh?
Yeah, it's about 9.5 miles from where I'm at to the East Bay side, and there's a lot of fishing grounds. So San Francisco Bay has a lot of microclimates. I can go, closer to Treasure Island and Berkeley, and it's really windy. If I want to escape that, I'll run to the South Bay or go up towards on the North Bay side. It's really calm. There's always different areas you can work. And there's fish all over. Like the North Bay has a lot of striped bass, versus the South Bay has a little more halibut. And Central Bay has a little bit of mixture. There's white sea bass, there's thresher sharks, there's halibut, striped bass. You never know what you're going to catch out there.
How fun is that?
It's been pretty good.
How fun would that be, gang? And you guys are all watching. If you're in Southern California, you're a 5-6 hour drive away from going fishing with Steve. Going up there, getting a hotel room that night, going fishing with them all day, get your limits of halibut, maybe a chance at a couple stripers, and then drive back down to your house and go, dang, that was pretty cool. And then the fact that he's going to start going live with us to open it up so more of us can see what the hell's going on up there. Because that's a fishery most people don't even know exists.
Especially Dungeness crab season.
Oh, and you get to do that too on your boat?
Yes, we
So
do.
we get Dungeness too?
Yeah,
Wow.
That's delicious.
Yeah, we do live lobster fishing
Yeah,
trips.
I'm
So
jealous.
the Dungeness,
I love those too.
yeah, but to watch you guys doing the Dungeness, that's
Yeah.
going to open up a whole new thing. It's perfect for what we're doing with Brian and Promar. It's going to be awesome to watch because you're getting to use the Promar products to catch the Dungeness,
Yeah,
right?
I've been using them for years.
Dungeness during the day and lobster.
Yeah.
It's going to, gang, I'm not just out here at ICAST hanging out looking pretty. I'm putting together some phenomenal guests and some phenomenal content for all of us to be watching. I'm super excited when you tell me, Click, I'm going live, Capt, Dave. I'm going to be so fired up. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to be watching it. On the comment section, gang, leave a comment and let Steve and I know what you guys want to see, what you want to do. Another thing I'm super excited about, catching dinosaurs up there.
Yes, that's one of my favorite things. As you see, it's on my arm. You can see it there. That's one of the things I've been doing for a long time. You guys in SoCal want to have a whole different fight. Really powerful fish, prehistoric fish. We get them in
Dinosaur.
shallow
The
water,
scales on them are like that big.
9, 10 feet of water sometimes. The biggest we've had on one of my trips is 10.5 feet.
10.5 foot long
sturgeon
fish.
in 9 feet of water.
Oh my
That thing became
gosh.
airborne. My old boat, it was on
That
anchor.
thing came 10-foot long fish jumped out of
It's
the
on
water.
my YouTube channel. It actually dragged my boat from where we anchored up at 9 feet, and we ended up in 3 feet. By the time we released it, and I looked at my screen, I was like, "Why are we at 3 feet?" And I seen all of the marks on the track from the fish finder that had dragged us on anchor with 6 people on board. So
what a awesome animal.
I honestly think the only reason we stopped it was too shallow. And
He couldn't go anywhere
stuck
else.
in mud. But yeah.
And he was running out of oxygen.
Yep. It was big.
How fun is that going to be to see it? Now, are you allowed to keep sturgeon?
No.
Right, because
Catch and release.
that's another closure
battle
that
we're
just
doing,
happened last year with no science.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean you can't fish for them.
There's a lot. Yeah.
There's so
You know,
many.
regardless if you can keep them or not, they're still fun to catch.
How
you know?
spectacular would
They're
it be,
powerful. They're
Matt Ryan, to catch a 12-foot sturgeon? He caught a 10-footer, so you know there are 12-footers out there.
I've seen them up to 15 feet now.
15-foot long fish
Yeah.
in 6 feet of water.
They're shallow.
How insane. I
Yeah.
bet it's not rough there.
No, it's
There's a lot of stuff going on in San Francisco Bay, gang. I am super excited. Leave comments. Let Steve and I know. He'll go back through here and look at the comments. Brian will. He'll answer anything you have. And this is not the last time we're going to see you. We're going to see you a bunch. Brian, thank you for introducing us to Steve. This is going to be a match made in heaven. I can already feel it and see it. We have the same likes. The same things are going on in our lives. So let's make you famous like they made me famous.
Awesome.
All right, buddy?
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. We're at ICAST up here. We will have the game plans coming out to all of you around 3:30, 4 o'clock this afternoon. Bill Barney, Justin, Pablo, and Al are putting together some good game plans. I'm waiting for Sonny's game plan to come through. We'll get those out to you between 3:30 and 4:30 this afternoon. Just be patient. Remember, I'm at ICAST. I'm doing the best I can, but we won't let you down. Keep watching us. Keep sharing. Keep hitting the like button. Subscribe to our channel. And do yourself a favor and turn off the news. They're all lying. This is the only place you get the truth. I'll see you tomorrow. No, probably not. The show ends right when we're supposed to go live, and we're going to be tearing the booth down, and I'm flying out. So probably no show tomorrow, but Saturday morning we'll be back with you, doing the best we can. Thank you all very much. Steve, thanks for being with us. Brian, thanks for producing a great show. See you all tomorrow.